Hey y'all, I'm back. I'm here to do the sixth step, and you know the routine off camera. Give me a second though. All right. Okay. Step six. Step six method provides a focused procedure for the problem solving. Techniques on the same issue. It makes the decision making process easier. It provides adjustable solution. A lot of willingness. After identifying shortcomings and admitting to them by working through step 4 and 5, these steps ask you if you are really willing to give up some of those faults. These faults or ways of behaving and coping have been with the individual for a long time. While they may be comfortable, it is important to recognize how these old ways have contributed to the individual's problems. If the precious if the previous steps have been done thoroughly and honestly, many times facing the truth can bring a measure of guilt, which is a great motivation to become entirely ready to have those shortcomings removed. As with all the steps, the ability to become ready comes from a higher power, a power greater than yourself. The idea behind this phase of 12-step recovery, steps 4 through 7, is to address some of the personal issues. If you simply stop drugging and drinking and do not address some of these other issues, they could lead you into situations that may cause you to relapse. For example, if the way you express anger or the way you handle rejection is a problem for others around you, you could end up ruining a relationship or relationships, and that could cause you to pick up a drink or drug. However, this program says just don't use. You never have to use again, no matter what. Also, don't disconnect for any reason. I repeat, do not disconnect. Furthermore, if you only quit drinking and drugging and you don't address your other issues, you could end up what some call a dry drunk or dry drugger, or meaning you may become bitter and resentful, in which cause in which case you may be sober but very unhappy. While step 6 is important for recovery, the reason why step 6 is so important in the process is that it focuses on the willingness to change the old behaviors that contributed to the problem stopping drinking or drugging. Without addressing those behaviors, make it easier to slip back into your old habits. That is why step 4 through 7 are in the middle of the 12 steps. If you don't admit you have shortcomings and take steps to address those issues, then a spiritual awakening may never come. It's all about being honest with yourself and those around you. Identifying your shortcomings and admitting them is not the end of the process. Becoming entirely ready to do something about them is key to the solution. What you can do, practical things that you can do to work toward understanding and overcoming your problematic behaviors. Some other things you could do: list your faults, weakness, or challenges. For each one, note the ways that the problem affects your behavior. Write down the effect this fault has both on you and on others. Ask yourself, what feelings are associated with this weakness? Are such behaviors intended to minimize or hide distressing emotions? Consider what your life would be like if you did not engage in these behaviors. What are some strategies that you could use instead that would be more productive? Thinking of these issues in this way can help you better recognize the way they influence your moods and behaviors. It can also allow you to see the benefits of changing, which will ultimately improve your willingness and motivation to change. Step 6 introduces defects of character. It is important to understand that the origin of this phrase stems from how substance use were conceptualized in early editions. Anonymously first Anonymous first emerged. Understand that alcohol and substance misuse are brain-based conditions. However, many of the behaviors that are the result of alcohol and substance misuse, such as denial, are obstacles on the road to recovery. Learning to recognize these behaviors as problematic and being willing to change them are essential for long-term recovery. There are some things that may help you approach step 6. These include humility. Working step 6 is simply working the first 5 steps and then getting humble. This is not easy for many of us. Working the first 5 steps seems grueling at first, but they manage to do it. Then the humble part steps in. How do you make yourself humble? If the messages of the first 5 steps sink in, you find humility. If the message somehow escaped you, go back and work on them again. Find out what you did wrong and then try this step again. People also often reflect on the times they had hurt friends, family, and employers, but rationalize their behavior and blame the one who was injured. In working the steps and accepting responsibility for the consequences of their actions or your actions and omissions, you may experience shame and remorse. Specific, specify during stage 6, specifically, specifically during stage 6, it is important to specify about some of the character faults that may have contributed to the onset and maintenance of drug addiction use disorders rather than simply stating that you have anger issues. Look at the underlying triggers and consequences of the anger. In order to truly accept and then let go of of these defects, you need to identify and recognize them for what they are. Then acceptance. The goal of step 6 is not to engage in self condemnation or shaming. Instead, it is about looking at yourself with honesty and accepting the things that have played a part in your drug or alcohol problem. By showing yourself acceptance and then submitting to a higher power, you can work toward letting go of the behaviors that are holding you back from truly achieving your goals. Sometimes it is suggested sometimes it is suggested to also seek outside help. Okay, and as you know, at the end of the message, I always give affirmation cards to help lift your spirit. It's a one day at a time process. And you can always ask questions from your sponsor and others that you trust that already had experience with each step. always help available. You have not because you ask not. If one person says no, go to the next one. And we can always pray and ask God for guidance. He's with us 100%. It requires us to be patient as well with ourselves. Be gentle with ourselves. Don't be in a hurry. Take your time and thoroughly go through. I love myself and trust who I was made to be. These twists and turns may be leading me down a path that looks differently than I imagined, but I can still find peace here. It's taken living through my darkest days to become the strongest version of myself. And please, please, always ask for help before you use. And have faith over fear. I start my day with intention, grace, and care, and ease. Okay, that's that. Let's go to she believed she could, so she did. He believed he could, so he did. Keep your eyes on the stars, but remember to keep your feet on the ground. If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet what a success unexpected and common hours. I dwell in possibility. If you want to succeed, you should strike out on new paths rather than travel the wrong paths of accepted success. What you do today can improve all your tomorrows. Okay, that's it for that deck. Be you, do you. Allow your authentic self to show. Being true to yourself, no matter what. I let go of all expectation. That one always come out. I believe in myself and my abilities. Creative energy surges through me and leads me to new and brilliant ideas. I trust my inner voice. What I say, I am safe to be my true authentic self. That came up. No, that's right. Freedom. I have the freedom and power to create the life I desire. I love and accept myself as I am, and everything in my life works a day at a time. My thoughts become my reality. All right. Last deck. I release all feelings of negativity and guilt. Right on time, y'all. Everyone is unique and different. If we are like other people, then we are not expressing our specialness. There are no problems that do not have a solution. There are no questions without answers. I love it. I trust the intelligence within me. Lifetime after lifetime, I am a shining spirit, a beautiful light. I am always safe. I am eternal. I will go on forever from experience to experience. I release all blame and turn within to seek the truth. I love it. I affirm that I am willing to release the causes and patterns in my consciousness that are creating any negative conditions in my life. Beautiful. My mind is a powerful healing tool. Every day I choose to send loving healing energy to the planet. What I do with my mind does make a difference. All right, guys, that's it. I'll see you tomorrow for step 7. Peace and blessings. Sending love and light.